Today we are going to do 4 bridal drapes. We're going to start off with the Gujarati drape, and then we're going to transition to the Nivi drape, and then a Can drape, and finally finish with the Bengali drape. I chose this order because the pallu, as you'll see, will get progressively longer, and so it'll be easy for us to transition. But whatever drape you decide to wear, you won't have that problem, so let's get started. You'll want to iron the entire sari for all 4 drapes, so let's just get this out of the way. Once you've ironed the sari, you want to pleat the pallu. For the Gujarati drape, we're going to pleat it pretty short. Like, I'm not going to do a huge length. It's going to be pretty much like around my hips, and so I'm just going to pleat the pallu that length. And you want to just take the first pleat and lay it over the next layer and repeat that until you get to the other end. When you've pleated the pallu, you want to lay it over your right shoulder and make sure that it's the length that you want. So I'm happy with this length. I'm just going to pleat the pallu into place, fan out the pleats, and make sure that they stay in place when I go to drape them. The Gujarati drape starts off pretty much the same as the Nivi drape. Once you've tucked it around, you want to just take the other end of the pallu and lay it over your right shoulder. You want to follow this edge closest to your body and start pleating. You guys can check out my pleating tutorial for the easiest, quickest way to pleat your sari. So you want to leave a little bit of sari or fabric here so it creates this fold. Shake out your pleats, and the biggest difference between the Nivi drape and the Gujarati drape is that the pleats face the right way. This is the Nivi drape and this is the Gujarati drape. You can stagger the pleats like you do for the Nivi drape. Tuck them in. So once you've tucked in these pleats, you want to bring your pallu, and you can take it back here and kind of pin it back here, or you can just leave it in front like this. That's totally cool too. Just make sure it kind of like lines up with these. And I've added a belt, and this is the Gujarati drape. Next, we're going to do the Nivi drape. For the Nivi drape, you want to take a longer pallu. So I'm just repleating the pallu. And it's the same idea applies. You just create a pleat and lay it over the next fold. It's a little harder to do now that I just pleated for the Gujarati drape. Like, that's why it's really important that you iron your sari, because if there's folds in the sari, it just makes it harder for you to get those pleats perfectly. Once I'm happy with the pleats, I'm just going to press them all down so that they create these crisp pleats for me to work with while I'm draping. I'm just going to iron down the chest pleats because I like them to look pressed and neat, but this is totally an optional step, especially if the sari you're using is not puffy and it will, conform to your body. Remember to always tuck in, especially these long with bridal saris. You want to make sure that you're taking that extra step to really tuck it in flat against your body so you don't have any bulges from the extra fabric. I'm going to just bring my pallu around, and I'm going to put it on my left shoulder. What I'm going to do here is, so I have this loop of fabric. This is what I'm going to pleat. Again, your right hand, or whatever hand you're pleating with, to the left of your belly button, and then start pleating. I'm going to link the video here where you can learn how to pleat. You want to make sure you have like that much of fabric and you don't pleat this part. I'm going to shake out my pleats, let them go, and then stagger them and pin them together. Okay, and when you go to tuck in the front pleat, you want to make sure you tuck it in without this fabric that you have left, and I'll show you why in a moment. Okay, so you're going to reach underneath all of your pleats, pull this, and guide the fabric and take as many hip pleats as you'd like. And then do a little twist and tuck it into your right hip. You're gonna take any extra material here, you're just gonna fold it forward and tuck it in. This is so that this pleat does not open up, and then you're gonna bring your pallu and you're pretty much done. If this is for your wedding and you're the bride, what I would do is I would take a straightener and iron these down like this, so it's really just conforms to your body. Because as you see here, it's kind of like I've ironed this much, but I didn't iron this part. So you want to make sure that, with this sari, I could just fold it into place, but it would look even better if you were to do it with a hair straightener. The reason I wouldn't do this part on a ironing board is there's no way you're going to know where that is on your body until you go to drape it. So the best way to do that is to just do these finishing touches with a hair straightener. And that's pretty much it. And of course, for the Nivi drape, I always recommend wearing a waist chain. Next, we're going to do the Can drape. For the Can drape, you can keep the same pleats that you used for the Nivi drape, so the pallu does not change, and I'm going to put that over my left shoulder. The rest of the sari, I'm going to pleat and tuck in to the back. Once you've tucked it in, you're just going to take the leftover fabric and pleat down the side. And then this part is just going to be tucked into the front. And that's it. You can fix up the pleats to make sure you're happy with how they look, and add a belt if you'd like a more structured look. And this is the Can drape. Now on to the Bengali drape. For the Bengali drape, we're gonna start off the same way as the Nivi drape. Once you get to the front though, you're gonna just take the pallu and put it on your left shoulder. And then this part, you're going to take very wide pleats, and I'm gonna show you how. You're gonna tuck in as you go. Once you get to the end and closer to your pallu, you're just gonna take that extra bit and tuck it into the back of your drape. And then finally, you're just gonna take the pallu, take the end of it, create some very rough pleats here on the corner, and then pin it to your blouse. I hope you enjoyed a look at 4 of the most popular bridal drapes today. I'd love to know which one was your favorite. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in a future video.